The beta test is finally. Oh wait, no, not.
Just to clarify, the beta test is never over, Brad.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
world we live in.
There were two references there. One to a Nokia ad from many years ago. The other one to Microsoft Edge. If you've been not putting it on your machine, but you're listening to this podcast, which would be an odd combination, I will fully admit. Anyways, you can go grab the beta version of it. It is now out now. And
yeah,
yep.
right. Yep.
Yep. Embargo will lift after this thing.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Sorry. I was confusing this with the leak of the stable version. It's a little hard to keep track of these things. It's like Linux distributions
or 19H2.
Yeah, right. Or the number of tiers in the Xbox Insider program for some reason. It's
just a waterfall of
unnecessary complexity.
Rolling the dice. No snake eyes today.
Isn't all complexity unnecessary? It doesn't matter. Anyway, that's what they're doing. Yep.
Yeah, they could certainly streamline some of this stuff. I mean, quite frankly, I don't know if they need a Canary dev and beta now. I mean, I get it.
Well,
I
sorry, Chrome does it, I guess.
That's always worked out well for Microsoft.
Right. Well, fast following and whatnot. I mean, that's the infrastructure. I mean, maybe it just makes sense.
Yeah, actually, you got that. You've got, I don't know. There's just so many insider program ring things. It's just a web of complexity.
I guess that. Yes. No, for sure. I would say normally that many. I guess we'll call them rings or whatever. What do they call those things? Canary, like a canary channel or whatever.
Hell.
Yeah. I guess a web browser is one of the few places where a public daily build is, if not warranted, is acceptable. There are certain audiences that may benefit from that, even we have to admit, is a very mature product. Chrome, anyway. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's confusing.
Anyway, so you can go grab that stuff, which is all serviced outside the Windows Store, and so which means you have to download it and update it differently than you would something from the store.
So
and differently than Windows 10.
Sorry to interrupt. You spoke to Microsoft about this update, yes. Was there any talk about, I know one of the ongoing concerns from the 7 people still using the old Edge is whether any unique Edge features are coming to the browser, tab management tools, ebook, well, obviously not ebooks, I'm sorry, EPUB, rendering, et cetera. Anything like that?
Well, Collections is coming. That's
and that was a feature they pulled out of someone's butt.
I think they announced that at Build. I think that sound about right.
That's I heard internally that was Joe B's baby. That he wanted a way to collect things if you're researching like a new dryer or something.
Maybe they could.
Which
call
other
it
parts of
scraps.
Microsoft said, "Why can't?" Yeah, he's just scraps. He's a scrappy little scrap, that guy. There are other parts of Microsoft that already make things that do stuff like that, like OneNote, sticky notes, and Windows 10 maybe. But we're gonna have another way to do it in Edge, so that's fun.
Yeah. Speaking of other features, there's not really any features coming in the beta build. It's just a more stable-ish build of the dev, and so those fun Edge features will eventually make it there. They got to go through the whole rigmarole of
actual testing.
Well, getting it into the Chromium. They can't just update it. Of course, they couldn't really just update the other browser user without a major update. This is bad. The complexity is bad. It's
Yep. I've often said that it is bad. It's almost always bad. Sometimes it's necessary. I get that.
Yep. And so I did try to figure out when this is going to ship with the build of Windows. My guess right now is 20H1. That's the...
Yeah, okay. So in other words, the speculation was that maybe they would ship it this year, possibly in time for Ignite, which is happening in November.
I would be surprised because based on what Microsoft was telling me when I talked to them was that they were hoping that it would be finalized by the end of the year, but they weren't sure that was going to happen.
I'm a little surprised by that. I wonder if that suggests they are in fact planning some features. It seems, you use it, right? It seems
I'm using it right now.
Stable and normal, and it works well. There's some synchronization stuff. Did they talk about that at all?
No.
Full sync yet? No. I mean, obviously that's an issue. Okay. It makes sense that it would be bundled with 20H1.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the first shot. It would be surprising. And the thing is, too, is like this thing will finish and then it
Windows
doesn't
7
have
will
to
go
be
away.
bundled with an OS. It's just
Well, right, but they should. I mean,
they will eventually.
I assume, that they will put some stable version of it in there, right?
Yep.
And that's the point is stable, or what is it's not called? What's it called? The version that came out today is called
beta.
Just beta. Oh well,
Yeah.
okay. So beta and the stable channel or whatever are both on 6-week schedule, right? Schedules, right? And so I guess above and beyond that, well, maybe not. I was going to say there must be some notion of major releases in the Chromium world, but actually there probably isn't. Like, it's not like on the 10s or something, like, version 70, version 80
Right.
or major releases. Like, they actually really don't do that, do they?
No, they just kind of steamroll it. And
Yeah. So when you have a product that comes out twice a year and it's going to bundle another product that's released once every 6 weeks, it's awfully arbitrary.
Oh yeah, I mean
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, honestly. The browser will be updated on that 6-week schedule. It's cumulative. You'll always get the latest update, and so it will work a lot like the cumulative updates work in Windows 10. It doesn't matter where you install that version in the next 6 months. You're not going to have to install 6 months of updates.
Right,
or
you just
whatever
download
number of
one.
updates. Yeah, you just get the one cum. So I guess that works the same for the browser.
Yeah.
It's a little weird, but whatever. It's okay.
It's a
better
whole new
than
world where Notepad is in the store. So
yeah, but which this company, if I could just pick it up by its scrawny little neck and shake it, that makes no sense. And I mean that in ways big and small.
It was on a checklist somewhere, and someone said, "Oh, I can do that," and then they did it,
but it
and then they're going to go,
no sense.
"No,
It's a text editor." By the way, with a Windows Vista glass icon, okay? I mean, talk about like having your priorities skewed, like that makes no sense. No sense.
Yeah, well, we'll find other things that will wind up there. Like, I
It's
don't
like
even know.
it's like the with us and against us column. You can have like with us, right? Like terminal being in the store, that makes sense. That makes tons of sense. Notepad being in the store, that makes no sense. Like those, that makes no sense. No sense.
No sense, or 10 cents.
No sense. No sense. No sense. I have no euro
Well, the good
sense.
news is that they'll find a way to update it and ruin it. No.
Well, yeah. I mean, right. Can you imagine like this thing will evolve? It will support rich text or some stupid thing.
It's gonna have emoji picture,
Line numbers and
up top.
coding, stupid highlighting thing. Just stop. It's just text. It's all it is
all
text.
you need.
Just leave it alone.
That's all you need in life. They're gonna add dark mode, I bet.
You could put a Notepad Plus in the store. That would be fine. That would be fine.
Which I think already exists. Maybe.
I know, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like if Microsoft feels the need for some reason to screw around with a text editor in 2019, I mean, seriously, is there no important computer science happening at Microsoft anymore? That's incredible.
That's the hill he's gonna die on, folks. It's the one he's chosen.
No, it's not the one. It was chosen for me, Brad.
The light shine down from the Windows Store.
I did
the
not
Microsoft
select
Store.
this. Yep. If you could go back 20 years and tell me some of the nonsense that Microsoft would engage in 20 years from then, I would have a hard time believing it.
Well, I mean, it's only taken them about 2 years since Fluent's been announced. 3 years, and the mailing calendar icons are finally getting updated.
The way they roll it out is they have a picture of Windows 10 on a wall, and then they just throw paint at it, and wherever it lands, they're like, "All right, let's fix that little control over there. We'll make it translucent or something."
You know what they don't throw at it? It's 3D paint.
Right. It's very decidedly a 2D picture of the operating system. I don't know what to go, like. I saw those. I actually started writing an article called "Lipstick on a Pig," and I made that comment on Twitter today. Haven't published it yet. It's pointless, right? You already know what I'm going to write. Like, there's almost no point in even saying this. But I will say, back in the day when the phrase "lipstick on a pig" originated within Microsoft, I mean, they probably didn't originate it, but when they first started using it, the point of it was every 3 to 5 years we come out with a major version of Office, and they all look the same. So we changed the toolbars a little bit. We changed a couple of the icons. The idea being that someone could look over someone's shoulder at the person's screen and immediately know what version of Office they were using. Otherwise, they would have no way of knowing. It was called lipstick on the pig. Like, what they're doing today is actually way worse than that. I somewhere in some article, I have a screenshot of my taskbar with the 18 different styles of icons we have now, dealing all the way from Windows 95 icons, the Vista style notepad icon, those Nouveau stupid color grading icons that like they're doing mail and calendar with soon, Skype, just updated, completely different from those other icons. Like it's worse than lipstick on a pig, because at least lipstick on a pig was consistent. Like if you looked at Office 97, it all looked like Office 97. But if you look at Office on your computer today, you've got icons from Office 2013. You've got Office icons that just were updated. Like if you look at Windows 10, you've got like I said, 17, 19, whatever the numbers, style of icons. Like it's not lipstick on a pig. It's lipstick on a pig here, a little bit over here, a little bit here. Like it's just, there's no guiding light. There's no one steering the ship. I just wrote the article. That's the article. That's me. It's a short rant.
Yeah.
But that's right. I mean, but it's for people like me, and I think for a lot of people who listen to the show or read the site or whatever, when you care about something like this, right? And in the scope of things, honestly, I mean, I recognize all the stuff going on in the world of technology anyway. And, these other companies are a big deal. I still care about what Microsoft does more than I care about like Google or Apple or what. But within Microsoft, despite its diminished status, I mean, I still very much care more about Windows than I care about anything else that Microsoft does. And it is an endless frustration these days, the disrespect that this product is shown by its own company. Like, it's crazy. It makes me nuts. It's just unfair. It doesn't make any sense. They're not even B-teamers, Brad. I don't know who these people are. Are they just pulling people off the street? Hey, do you want to work in Windows? We got a couple of openings. We're going to, randomly apply visual styles. Don't worry, we'll teach you what that means later. It's cool. I mean, it almost seems like this. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Feel better?
The look that's on your face is one I'm very familiar with. My family members often have it.
Well, I was thinking as your casket's lowering and the Skype ringtone is playing, I'm going to slap some mismatched Windows sticker icons on your casket just right before I toss the dirt on.
The Zoom logo. Play that like the Windows 2000 startup sound as the thing goes down, the bling, 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 whatever. That'd be nice.
And his tombstone will read, "Something happened."
Yes, right. No, 1966, born, 2019, something happened. Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Grammarly has a new mobile. I need to give this another shot again on iOS 13. They've been a dumpster fire on every iOS they've been introduced with.
It's not
expecting anything better.
I think keyboards on iOS have always been kind of tough. Actually, keyboards on Android too, by the way. I am often, I find myself, you use some other keyboard, and then after a while you're like, geez, like stop. Like and I just always go back to Gboard, which is the stock, Android one.
Yep, that's exact same experience with iOS. It's
too bad.
Mostly because you never know what keyboard's going to open when you open it in an app. And
Yep.
So
consistency.
Yep, that is that. Got anything else for today, Mr. Paul Thurrott? Anything else in your chest?
No. There is some, actually, this is just kind of a random thing I'm going to throw out. Like I talked about scraps the other day, right? As something I hadn't written about. I'm writing this series, the Windows programming thing. And I recently installed for the first time in many years, Windows 2000. In fact, by the way,
oh, wow.
August 24th is the 21st anniversary of the day I went to Redmond, not for the first time, but I went to Seattle and went to the Windows NT 5.0 Beta 2 workshop, which is why I started the Super Site for Windows, right? So that coincidentally is in researching this, I was like, I actually found something I wrote, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, that's like days from now, but 21 years ago. Microsoft so thoroughly embraced Java, right? And Java was, if Microsoft hadn't gotten in trouble over Java, like we wouldn't have .NET or C# today, right? That's Microsoft was doing that with Java. They created something called the Windows Foundation classes, which is the .NET framework. Essentially, they use Java as they use C#. They had a runtime engine, which is the .NET, runtime, whatever. Anyway, that in Windows 2000, I'd completely forgotten about this. There is its version of the defaults interface like we have today in Windows 10. And in Windows 10, of course, you have things like your default mail application, your default web browser, your default photo app, whatever. And so there's some number of those things in Windows 2000. And I don't remember exactly what they are, but mail is in there, web browsers in there, of course, probably photos or whatever. But do you know what the last one is in the list? This is incredible to think about this. It's your default JVM. You actually could specify your Java default in Windows 2000. I completely forgot about this. Or actually, I'm sorry, I can't even say I forgot about it. Having now seen it again, I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't.
But I'll eventually write something about this because the Windows 2000 stuff is still a bit in the future. I've got a lot of antitrust stuff and whatever to write about. But in the process of doing what I do, I'm still in pre.NET. But I just thought that was kind of fascinating. I don't now remember it that I see it. I literally see it and I'm like, I don't remember this.
Yeah, it had to have been a key part at some point because obviously they had to put it in there.
Well, obviously Sun and Sun and probably others, but Sun, let's say, had their own JVM. There's kind of the stock or whatever, the real normal one, and then the Microsoft one, which was more powerful. And it was more powerful. That's the thing. Like, it's kind of like this dual-edged sword. Like, they really did try to usurp this platform from Sun. But they made something that was really awesome. It was so awesome that they just did it again with a new language and languages, actually, and their own technologies. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. That was something I don't remember, and that makes it kind of weird for me because I feel like a lot of the stuff, it's like, oh yeah, I remember. And then I saw that and I was like, wait, what? So I just don't, that was never on my radar, I guess.
Interesting how times have changed or not changed, I guess, depending on your point of view. But I bet some of those icons are still sticking around too.
Oh yeah, definitely. By the way, Windows 2000, very attractive OS. Windows Me and Windows 2000 both had kind of the same basic look and feel. It was really nice. So it was before all the glass. Well, actually, it was before XP, which was, can we talk about blowing it? But they tried to do something cool there. But the
Toys R Us UI.
Well, the problem with it was, of course, this is way in the future now, but for me, for the series, but like in Windows XP, what they wanted to do was create a UI that was infinitely changeable. So it could look like anything, and unfortunately, the way they did it was like these fixed size bitmaps. And so it actually became really hard to create other themes. So remember, it shipped with 2 themes. It was supposed to have more. It was supposed to have like dozens and dozens of themes. And over the course of Windows XP's existence, they created a couple of extra themes. Remember, they did one for Media Center and they did one for Zune. It was kind of blackish. But they were always like a little off. And no, there were 3 in the beginning. I'm sorry. There was aluminum and the green one, and then the blue and green thing. But yeah, that was supposed to be something really cool. And then, of course, they walked away from it. There was like one version and they were done. And they went to glass, with Windows Vista. We'll get there. A lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah. Fun. Speaking of getting there, we'll get back here tomorrow, provided a meteor does not hit our house. Well, at least my house specifically. And have yourselves a wonderful Tuesday.